Oh no, heck no. Y'all gone up and done it. I've been a lot of people reaching out to me today saying, how often should I be posting on Instagram? So me, the nerd, the dedicated data researcher guy, went down the rabbit hole and figured out the science of posting on Instagram. Let's go. What's up, FlowChat Connector? Sean back at you with another Hi to Katuna. Hope you're doing really well. Don't forget to smash that like button, share this out to somebody else who needs it. Please, please, please. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Last I checked, 78% of our viewership is not subscribed. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please just smash that red button, turn the notifications on the bell so that every time I drop a tip twice a week, you can get informed on some stuff that's really valuable that'll help your business grow. But today we are talking about some awesome stuff. We're going to dive right in and we're going to talk about the science of posting on Instagram. Instagram is an interesting beast. I went down the rabbit hole of looking at the algorithm, and let's get started. So the first thing you want to know is, how often should you post on Instagram? But before that, why even post, right? You've probably heard this. Well, posting is really important. Every business needs some sort of content strategy. And if you don't have one, this is a great place for you to start. If you're already posting on Instagram, this is just going to help you become a sharpshooter and make sure that you're not exceeding the max amount that you should be posting. So remaining top of mind is definitely the right reason to be posting, because guess what? The world, if you didn't know, is a very loud place. There's noise and pressure coming from every direction at all times. And so what we need to do is make sure that we're raising our flag and we are in that noise and pressure and we're staying top of mind. Okay. Secondly, we want to make sure that we're not losing market share to competitors. If you and your competitors offer a similar service, but yours is actually better than their service and you're not posting and they are, well, guess who's probably going to get the business? Not going to be you. And that's a problem, right? So we don't want to do that. And then lastly is not building brand awareness. See, these posts, I used to think when I first started building content that it was pointless to post on meta properties, specifically Instagram. And the reason I thought that was because as I posted, it got pushed more and more and more and more down the feed. Nobody ever saw it. But the fact is, if you make good posts, good quality posts, what happens is they work in your favor. It's like an everlasting opportunity where somebody can find you, they can learn about your business, the brand. If they value your flow and they value what you talk about, this helps you to build brand awareness. Now, the difference between the meta properties and like a Google property is search-based versus positioning placed. Or what I mean by that is, on Facebook or Instagram, when you make a post, yes, it does get pushed down the feed. So it's placement marketing versus search marketing. On a Google property, you usually type in what you want to find. There's not a feed that kind of continues to throw stuff in your face. This is great because it gives us the ability to do both sides. But if we're focused on Instagram specifically, we want to make sure that the first 3 posts on our Instagram, right below your banner on your profile, are very, very, very valuable. The first post from left to right is going to be one where people can download a free lead magnet. Now, I've recently done another video on Alex Hormozi's 7 steps to building an awesome lead magnet. If you haven't seen that, go find the video of which I do talk about that, because it gives you the shortcuts and you don't have to go get the $100 million leads book. However, the second post, so the first one's the lead magnet, the second one should be some sort of a case study or case story of how you're able to actually help a company to grow, so people can easily digest, like, okay, here's something that can help me, here's somebody that might be like me. And the third post should be something personal about you. And if you can pin those 3 posts on your Instagram profile and then you have your bio written correctly, then you're winning. In your bio, all we talk about is the first line, what can you do for somebody else? The second line should be how they can connect and contact you more. So that's a quick 30-second version of how to maximize your profile, which is cool. But the idea here is we want to continue down the path of posting. So how much is too much? Right? There was a scientific study done by this group here, Journal of Retailing and Consumer Sciences, as you can see on the slide, and they came up with this magic number that 45 social media posts per month maximizes your engagement on Instagram. Now, yes, you're probably saying to me, Sean, oh man, like I gotta be Gary V, hustle culture, post my face off. And some of these other big brands are always posting 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 times a day. The problem is there is too much. And when there's too much, it becomes a problem. 45 posts, which is 2 posts a day and 1 on Saturdays, typically, is the frequency and engagement rate that makes the most sense to post on Instagram. And remember, more isn't always better. Okay. So here is the inverted U-shaped curve of engagement. It's very valuable to share this with you because if you're not posting enough, you're in the under arousal bin, right? If you start posting too much, you're in the over arousal bin, but there is that sweet spot. There's that optimal arousal bin that you want to land in. And this typically means 45 posts a day, right? Posting frequently directs impacts and likes by up to 24%. If you want a 24% more engagement, all you need to do is post twice a day on Instagram and once on Saturdays, and you're going to have the optimal amount of posting time. The benefits actually cap after 45 posts per month. Exceeding 45 posts results in a decline of likes, comments, and shares. Let me say that again. Exceeding 45 posts per month results in a decline in engagement of likes and comments and shares. So if you're always looking for how do I get the most likes, comments, and shares, look at this on Instagram and say, how do I do 2 posts a day and 1 on Saturdays? That's it, right? Simple equation. Why is it optimal? Well, frequency matters. And there's this familiarity principle called the wear-in principle, which means medium exposure puts you into that medium arousal bin, which is going to get you the max exposure. And it's important to avoid the risks of overexposure too, right? If you're posting more than 45 minutes or 45 posts every single month, what happens is you can make your prospects bored, or it's perceived as inauthentic because it's just like, oh, that person is just throwing content out on the thing. And or you've always had this happen, I'm sure, on your feed in Facebook. You see the same thing coming over and over and over and over, and you see it so many times, you're like, click, don't show me this anymore. When somebody does that to any of the posts that you have out there, it goes into the algorithm and it actually hurts your feedback score in that platform. So we want to stick around 45 posts, because when you focus on getting the ideal frequency, it maintains familiarity without fatigue. Again, 45 posts per month maintains familiarity, puts you in that right principle without the fatigue. Okay. And lastly, here's a couple of pro tips and application of how it can work. Again, focus on 45 posts on IG monthly. Experiment with content reuse. Doesn't mean you have to create 45 new each and every single month. You could, in theory, build 20 pieces of content. That's less than one a day, and then just repurpose the same content in a different format and post it on another day, right? Maybe you have your phone vertical and versus horizontal. Maybe you have the headline and you just swatch the headline on the same piece of content, right? Experimenting with reuse will actually help you to double down, because a lot of people can't create 2 pieces of content a day for Instagram and 1 on Saturdays to hit that 45 per month number. But if you can make 20, which is less than 1 a day, and just change the headline here and here, now you have 2 posts instead of 1. So repurposing the same content that you have will be valuable. Okay. Secondly, varying content format and topics if posting more than 45 times per month. So if you are going to go over and above, now again, these numbers are these numbers, and the study that I read typically said that this is not the scenario for all instances, but they did this test with 460 high-level content producers across bunches of different industries, and this is the average that they found. And so typically, if you're just getting started, this is where you want to start. Okay. So you want to play with that various forms, like test 45, test less, test more, see what the engagement's like, right? And the last thing I'll share with you is this. Whether it's paid content that you're putting on Instagram or it's free content, the algorithm does not determine the difference between those two things. So in essence, you could build 45 paid advertising pieces of content, or you could build 45 non-paid advertising pieces of content. Doesn't matter. It's a mixture of both. Okay. So with that said, guess what? You've just been tuned up. And if you didn't know by now, the magic number to post on IG is 45 posts per month. With that said, you've just been tuned up. Don't forget to smash that like button, share this out to somebody else that might need to learn this. Maybe they're posting too much and you just want to give them a little warning, send my video their way, right? Or maybe they're like, oh, how do I even maximize my IG? Well, here is the answer based on science, data, and facts, because we need to rely on the data. And of course, if you found value in this, please, please, please smash that subscribe button. Would love to have you come back, hit that bell and that notification so that we can be friends moving forward. As always, this is a conversation and not a one-way street. So please drop a comment whether you like or hate this. How many times do you post on Instagram? Do you post more or less than 45? What's your engagement rate? I would love to know. Drop them in a comment below. With that said, I can't wait to see you next time. So ciao for now.